Greetings, the world of the internet. I am the great Matthew Squeak, and welcome to Squirrel Talk Review. We are not watching Gravity Falls. This is one of the newer shows on Nickelodeon, Welcome to the Wayne, based off of a digital series released suspiciously in the middle of Gravity Falls airtime about a pair of siblings and their hapless assistant that live in a weird and mysterious apartment complex and their quest to unravel the mysteries of the place. And after watching the first trailer, I said to myself, is this a Gravity Falls ripoff? Thus, it needed to be watched. So here we are. This is Welcome to the Wayne.
School is out, the day is done, but for you, it's just begun. Welcome home, welcome to the Wayne. So glad you came.
And I'm already falling asleep. Sure, it's bright and colorful and whizzing all over the place, but that audio, it really sounds like they're half asleep while singing this thing. Welcome to the Wayne.
Welcome to the Wayne.
We swear it's not Gravity Falls. So the show begins at Mystery Shack Manor, the Wayne Manor, the Wayne, which is an apartment complex, which is rifling with the weird and the strange decor. This is where we meet newcomer Ansi and...
Oh, it's all the weird stuff here.
Squidward Jr.
It's right behind you. Hey, give me that back.
George?
Than some random black guy. So after losing Squidward Jr. off screen, Ansi heads to his home only to find some unwanted guests. The social extrovert on the edge of insanity, Ollie, and his genius little sister, Saraline. And let's just go ahead and point out the obvious. Waistcoat, hat, the smart one, introvert, wants to be treated older than they are. We're just gonna call her Not Dipper. Now, you might be saying, coincident. Well, let's have a look at the Ollie. At least he doesn't look like a girl, but he's loud, insane, and pushing himself onto everyone's business, but with good intentions deep down. So we're just gonna call him Not Mabel. I swear, most of his dialogue sounds like something Mabel would say.
I resent that. Entering maybe, but... Never mind.
Hurry.
If not legitimately blonde, roots, people. I'm talking visible roots. Come on. This mission's gonna be fun and dangerous and fungerous, which I think they can treat with a powder.
Now, you could still call it the happenstance, a fluke. There's no way they would be so blunt in their direct copying of another show's work. Do you want to know what their last name is? Do you? You really want to know? Out of all the thousands of names, literally thousands of last names they could have chosen, you want to know what they picked? Timbers. You know, just like with trees, used for lumber. Just like pines! Come on, guys. There's getting inspiration, and then there's straight-out plagiarism. No, swapping the genders around isn't enough to cover it up. I look here, and all I see is Not Dipper. I listen to this guy, and all I hear is Not Mabel. So why did they sneak into this guy's room? Well, pretty much to sell the show.
Ansi, if you want to help us investigate this place, you've got to be ready to go on a mission at any time.
Yep, keep 'em coming.
Since you moved here a few weeks ago, Ansi, there's been a massive uptick in WP.
Bubbly pea?
WP! Wayne phenomena.
I'm sure you got a few more lines for the trailer in there somewhere.
The Wayne's always been crazy, but never like this. We need to know why.
Okay, can we actually start the show now?
I think something big is coming, gentlemen, and it's coming fast.
I swear, if this show has a villain that is also comprised of a basic shape, there will be consequences!
Don't know, Ansi, but the spy from Apartment 8I is almost certainly involved.
Not her again.
Oh, finally. And are we supposed to know who that is? I guess it doesn't matter, because it doesn't have anything to do with the two missions she dishes out. She sends the boys out to investigate more Squidward spawn while she's on a quest to locate a secret library. Was Miss Spy seen watching the squids? No. Do we have any indication that she's looking for the library? No. Why are we wasting time with more trailer footage? So while Not Dipper strikes out and getting info from the mysterious black guy, the boys begin stalking the squids.
Hey, check it out.
Those squid things!
Yep, I call them squidgets.
Wow, you have a high, amazing tech gadget to see the squidlets that are right there in plain sight and not difficult to see at all. But oh, isn't that a cool gadget? Back to Not Dipper, who strikes out again with mysterious black guy.
And I can't help you. Maybe you'll understand one day when you're older.
I want to understand now.
Oh, it's all just the same. You wouldn't understand stuff because you're too young. We've gotten from Ford.
We helped you save the arc sign, defeat the spy. Ollie even tips your delivery guys so they don't get mad at you.
Did I miss a scene? Did I miss an episode? Well, if you're as confused as I was the first time I tried to watch this show, allow me to enlighten you. This show is technically not based on its internet counterpart, but a continuation of it. Now, you might think that doesn't sound like a bad thing, letting the show continue on the TV. But here, that's not working in its favor. There's been other online shows that have migrated onto the TV just fine. Fred or The Annoying Orange. I'm not discussing whether those shows are good or bad. They're not. Or that stuff online should stay online. What I'm talking about is, if I wanted to see the original Fred show, I could. It's not hard to find. If I wanted to watch the original Annoying Orange show, also not hard to find. You, starting to see where I'm going with this? Now, before I reviewed this, I spent a good hour looking for the original miniseries, hoping to watch it and get a better read on my opinions. But I couldn't find it. For the life of me, I couldn't find it. If you know where it is and want to put the link in the comments to help myself and others find it, great! I'll migrate it up into the description section. But that's not the point. The original show, introducing all the characters, the plot lines, including the spy we just learned about, and whatever these two are talking about, is not readily available or easy to find for those that want to know the beginning of the story. And that can be difficult for new viewers. Now, if this show had been like SpongeBob or Fairly Odd Parents, where it's comprised of mostly shorts that have little to nothing to do with one another, that would have been fine. Watching them out of order or missing them completely is no big deal. You can completely miss the episode where Sandy first appears and still be able to follow her character without a problem. Welcome to the Wayne is not a collection of shorts, it's an episodic story, where one episode is directly related to the previous, so instead of remaking them or releasing them with the new show, they're just a secret backstory to everything. Imagine if other shows were like this, like Avatar: The Last Airbender or Gravity Falls itself. The first 4 or so episodes were obscurely released online for a little while, then years later the show continues on the TV like there was no break in the program. If you missed the airing online, you missed out meeting characters like Gran Gran, Suki, the gnomes, and seeing Aang pop out of the iceberg, Dipper finding the journal. Crucial stuff to the overall plot, which if you're not allowed to see, can leave us quite confused later on. If they're clearly referencing what happened in that miniseries, we should be allowed to see that. Nick needs to either permanently release it on their site or add it to the TV lineup. The show's already gaining popularity, we're going to watch it. Back to the show. Caroline gets nowhere again, so we're going to go back to the boys.
Hey, Squidgets! I think your friend has something that belongs to me. So, if you could just pass along a message, that'd be great.
Go away, Patrick!
But before they can be devoured by tentacles, a random portal shoots out of nowhere and the squids hypnotically go through. So now our heroes have a choice. Do they follow the critters that were trying to eat them a moment ago into the suspicious portal to who knows where, or B, go home and play Mousetrap?
Zany action, a crazy contraption, the fun is catching its mousetrap.
Of course they pick A, and they find themselves in a secret chamber located below the Wayne. Wrong Wayne!
Where are we?
No idea. But look at all these monster portals.
Where we meet spy number 1, spy number 2, and this fat guy that travels with them.
They love eating that rainbow gas. I wonder if it's part of this complete breakfast.
Careful. That gas is more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
I've had some pretty powerful gas.
The fat guy, everybody. He just seems so out of place with these two. And naturally, they're up to no good, and their diabolical scheme this time around is to feed suspicious gas to the squid thingies, and then feed the fattened up squid thingies to this hungry fellow.
But it looks like he's getting stronger.
That's enough. These things have a limit before they explode.
And this is so that they can they can
Whoever controls the wane controls the world.
Exactly. And nothing's going to stop me.
take over the world. Why didn't I catch on? Gas plus squid plus Sharkman equals world domination. Of course it does.
I fail to understand this equation.
You have to carry the two.
Oh, well, in that case, it is quite brilliant, isn't it?
Sharky is placed back into his tank, without it really feeling like anyone accomplished anything, and the spies make their leave, forcing the boys to seek out an exit for themselves.
The monster portals! We can get out through those!
We don't know where they lead. Starling, do you read me? We need extraction. And candy. But first extraction. But then candy.
You don't even have a signal!
Yeah, I'm just messing around, wasting everyone's time.
Thank you for sharing. I'm sure people were expecting you to be, I don't know, helpful. So they start messing with the controls, and oops, looks like Sharky's coming out to play again.
Initiated. Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
What? Who asked for that? No one asked for that!
Someone did. Oh wait, it was totally you.
And it's a computer with an attitude and intelligence. Quick, you want to know what's going on? Try asking it. Oh yeah, the shark. I guess you'd better find an escape. And oh yeah, we haven't heard from Not Dipper in a while. What's she up to?
Increasing range. Who's the little girl now, Jonah Bishop?
Pretty muchly nothing. Back to the boys that make a daring escape just before being eaten. But during their second trek through the tubes, Squidward Jr. pulls Antsy off course and he finds himself in the secret library of all places. You know, the place that Not Dippers has been failing to find this entire episode. And we meet this strange, not suspicious at all head librarian in a secret library beyond the mirror.
Miss Roan, how'd you know my name?
Call me Clara, and it was in your book that our mutual friend delivered.
John Keats?
Must have thought it was one of ours. I sent him to fetch you so I could return it. And clean it.
That sounds so needlessly complicated, especially when Not Waddles had ample time to return the book, plenty of times at this point. So Antsy takes some time away from being chased, where he sees Shredder returning some library cards. Everybody needs a hobby aside from hunting mutant turtles. Meanwhile, the Not Pines kids reconvene, but Not Dipper's feeling a little down from not making any progress this entire episode.
I came to give you a progress report.
And?
I haven't made any progress.
But it's okay because Brother quickly snaps her out of it.
Starling, don't hit me, but Jonah's right. But so are you. Remember when we started all this and you gave me Dad's grapevine? Remember what you said?
That it's technically a toy, but the combustion system Mom added could crush you 30 times before dinner?
Well, as long as your parents know that you're using high-tech, potentially dangerous gadgets, I'm sure that you'll be fine. But Antsy, who spends a good while in the library, which, as it turns out, like most alternate dimensions accessible through household furniture, has a time flow all its own. And after much browsing and researching, he finds what he's looking for.
So Squidgets eat the rainbow gas, and Sleepyhead eats the Squidgets, but nothing eats Sleepyhead.
Or we learn absolutely nothing but stuff we already know.
You don't want more toast?
No thanks. Another piece and I'll literally
explode. That's it!
Again, stuff we already know. Stop wasting our time and let's go blow up a shark!
Aren't you forgetting something?
My book! Come on, JK. I'm gonna need your help.
Live bait. Good idea.
They catch up to Sharky, who's getting ready to chow down on the Timbers kids, who are rather unmoved by the situation.
Sis, I just want to say I love you.
I'm not giving you my last chalk pop, Ollie.
Worth a shot.
They lure Sharky back to his pit to put their plan into action.
What would that do?
They're like people. There's a limit to how much they can eat.
How is that like people?
Can you not say that people might explode? Is that just too far over the censors? They fill up live bait with gas and attract Shark over to take his medicine.
Oh no! We missed!
Not on my watch, you didn't. Do it! No!
Are we really supposed to be scared of this thing? They make outwitting it look like second nature. Sharky gets an overdose of rainbow gas and...
It worked!
So the day is saved, I think. Still a little iffy on what the spy was trying to do. Oh, that's right. How could I possibly forget the perfect formula? Antsy gets his official Timbers communicator and we find a mysterious note.
Yes. I don't know. John Keats must have snuck it into my book while I was in that secret library.
You found the library? Ha! Take that, Jonah Bishop! With your foot issues!
I'm still not convinced you've accomplished anything in this episode. They've unveiled their next mystery, and it turns out that Sharky has pulled himself back together, with some improvements. So is Miss Spy trying to train this thing, or make it stronger? Because exploding it a few times makes it stronger, and there wasn't much training going on earlier.
Whoever controls the wane controls the world.
And that was the Not Gravity Falls Welcome to the Wane. It was interesting. It clearly borrowed a lot of inspiration from Gravity Falls. A lot of inspiration. But in the end, does try to stand on its own, making its own adventures inside of the apartment complex. The design may not be the most detailed animation out there, but they've thrown quite a bit of creativity into their work, making it interesting. We've got the markings of a future good working team, brains, the too hyper for his own good, and the reluctant somewhere in between. They had their positive points and even had a few entertaining moments. I find the show, if I'm going to be honest, a little rough around the edges. I know it's a mystery show, but some of the plots didn't quite make sense, and not every gag was exactly a hit. Ollie can teeter between kind of funny to kind of not. I kind of like the idea of Caroline with all her gadgets and stuff, but I felt like she was struggling to find something to do in this episode. And finally, on more than one occasion, I felt like I'd seen something similar / better and rather go back and watch Gravity Falls. But hey, this is sort of their first episode, so there's plenty of room to grow, and like I said, it was interesting. So if you think you'll find this interesting too, I say go check it out. I am the Great Matthew Squeak, and this is Squirrel Talk Review. I thank my loyal subjects for watching. Please like and subscribe to me. You may also donate on Patreon here. Also, if you managed to find the first episodes of these, please share it with the world. I'm sure the world will be much appreciated for it.